Assalamualaikum everyone. This was what I might call quite intriguing for me as well. So, what was life before December 16th? I would want to take you back in time and travel with me, where you would witness a life of a teenager, an average teenager just like you guys, who had his struggles. And he had his struggles with his family, depression, and for all of us common, the teenager guys, he was absolutely devastated by not finding a girlfriend. So that was the story before December 16th. This picture represents something for me. If you can see the guy standing right over here, my best friend, we were like together since grade 4. So December 16th was the turning point of my life where I witnessed a big change in my life. Wake up in the morning, do the whatever we call it, nashta nahi karna. Mom was like, why not? And I was like, bhook nahi lagi. Move on, the driver is honking and travel with him to the college, just like an average morning. And so I stepped into the college building, and subah ki wo jisko kehte na, the normal abuse by the best friends. So I received that, and they're like, pass ho jaoge chemistry ka paper hai. I'm like, yeah, dude, it's me. They're like, no, you're gonna fail, and we know it. 8 a.m. and we part ways, and these are the last words that I heard of them. I go back to the hall where my examination was. They go to their respective rooms, and to be very honest, at 10:35 a.m., life and its meaning changed completely. I come down from the hall to the washroom, and I started hearing gunfire. I was like, yeah, मेरी शादी हो रही होगी, because there was a defense shadi hall there. So I took it casually. I was like, yeah, okay, fine. Firing happens in Peshawar. All of a sudden, the gunfire starts to creep up, and I'm like, oh, something's wrong. Step out of the washroom, and the first thing that I see is a guy standing right ahead of me, some 50 yards away, and he shouts at me, "Udrega!" And I'm stunned, shocked. Oh my God, last moment. So I froze in fear. 7 bullets whiskered past me. And to the right, you might see the 3 bullets that missed me by narrowly, what I might call by a feather. The center one was aimed at my head, and I escaped that like by an inch or so. So the 7 bullets whistled past me, and the next thing that I hear is, we need to rush to the auditorium. And so the guy leaves me there, and he rushes to the auditorium. In fear, I was actually one of those guys who hero बनने का बहुत शौक था. So I moved out towards the school side and rescued. It was a class of 24, I guess, with 7th grade. So I was with them. There was a female teacher. She panicked, so I chose to stay there instead. 11 a.m. in the morning, and all I could hear is gunfire, bullets, bombs, from where the noises of children would be coming, and it would have been the recess time. So I started to think to myself, yeah, ye ho kya raha hai? What should I make of it? And several minutes later, I remind myself, oh my God, Munhif, he is in the auditorium. He is my brother. And I froze in fear that if he does not come out of there, what am I going to do? So what I do next, that I come out of the classroom and start standing in the corridor. I find one of my teachers, and he's there, okay, we need to do this. I said, fine. 5 minutes later, some boys start to come from the auditorium. And the scene was horrible. It was like zombies walking, somebody's dragging his leg, somebody's dragging his arm, and you could literally see children falling in the corridors. And at this very instant, I saw six of them fell. It was like 15 or 16 guys. I took the initiative, told my teachers, I'll rescue these guys who are coming in. I'm going to drag these bodies into the room and lock them in. I go out, drag them inside that room, and lock them out there, come back. In this very instant, I remind myself, yeah, those taraf hai college wing side there. And I'm like, okay, fine. In my thoughts, I'm like, okay, fine, I need to figure out a way. Come on, think of it, think of it. And the one way that comes in my mind, ye bunking ka ek fayda, by the way. So what I did was, there was a pathway of female canteen that was connected from both of the buildings. I used that path in the thinking, I think most of you would have played Call of Duty if some of them are here. So they might know, it gives you an idea that from where somebody enters, he does not tend to go back there. I used that same thought, and I took the risk and came out of the building where I was, and I took the initiative to go to the college side. वहाँ जाने के बाद the first scene that I saw entering the college wing was that our lab assistant is lying right in front of me while I step out of the room. He's dead. I said, fine. I took his body, dragged it inside the chemistry lab. Later on when I come out, I see one of my best friends lying on the floor, right ahead of me. I froze. I was like, is this real? And I dragged him in, mustered the courage, and locked him into the washroom. Moved forward. Moving forward, I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I have to remain calm. All of this is happening, I have to remain calm. At this very instant, I see one of my teachers. She waves at me, Aakif, are you fine? I said, yes, I'm fine. She whistles past across me, she moves up to the section edge room, while I run towards the room where my friends was. And actually, there was just blood, not a body, not a person lying there, just blood. And I think to myself, I think they've been hit, but they've run away. And I moved. It was around about a 40-45 second window that I had, and I actually moved from there, and the attackers came into that same side as well. So I got lucky there. Moving back to the same class of 7th from where I came in. When I came back, it was like 12, 15, I guess. So I stand there, look at myself, and I'm like, I have to remain calm and think of ways how to give them strength. The children were crying, somebody was like, and there were some instances that even made me laugh. I mean, there's a boy, he holds my hand, he's like, भाई सब ठीक होगा, मैंने कहा इंशाल्लाह सब ठीक होगा. कहता भाई मुझे मानना नहीं, मेरी भी शादी भी नहीं हुई. तो I'm like, यार मेरी भी नहीं हुई. So that was the funny part of it. Eventually, it was at 12:30, 12:35, I heard a thud at the door. A body slams in the door, and out of fear, nobody comes out to open the door, and they're like, you don't need to open it as well. I asked my teacher to stay in, lock the room if I don't come back. And I go out to see the boy. The words that he said literally shook me to my core. He said, "Kash mujhe bhi koi bacha leta." And these words made me burst into tears, and I was like, okay, yaar, jo bhi hai, even if I die, I'm going to rescue this guy. I took him in my arms, came back to the room, and evaluated his injuries. And being a medical student myself, I saw him wounded at places where I thought he won't make it. He had been shot in his mouth, in his chest, and his leg. This is the most precious lesson that anybody can learn. Friends are people worth dying for. And I lived through this guy's story. He's driven by the death of his mother, a character jisko ek monster ne mara. He did not want to accept the change of becoming somebody who would rid this evil from the world. But eventually, just a child whose life was taken away from in front of him makes him accept this change. तो ये 3 lessons थे जो मेरी जिंदगी में बहुत important थे, और शायद ये वो lessons थे जिन्होंने मुझे create किया. This picture of him is the best memory that I have of him. And this guy solely is my drive right now. 16 December के बाद I went into a trauma where I was unable to rescue myself for a good long 8 months period. 6 months I suffered in a hell where I would think, yaar, papers bhi gaye, admissions bhi gaye, what am I going to do with my life? One day out of nowhere, I start writing. And a British author, Owen Bennett-Jones, he connects with me and he says, Aakif, you got a precious gift. I said, what? Write a book. I said, fine. I take up the initiative, but my thought process was, yaar, main isko likhunga kya? Eventually, thinking about it, the topic came, humanity is above all religions. And so my drive became humanity. इसको discover करने के लिए बहुत सी चीजें मेरी life में. There was this one incident in the university that I saw. There was a ruckus going on in the university. And I was upset कि यार ये बाहर चल गया. So when I come out, I step out of my class. A boy is running barefooted, maybe 8 to 10. 2 police वाले उसके पीछे भाग रहे डंडा लेके मोटा वाला. I'm like, something's wrong. The boy is trying to outrun them, but eventually gives up. So he's got a hold of him and he's like, दोबारा करोगे? He says in Pashto, ब्याह बकी? And he's like, I was like, okay, इसने क्या किया? He's just a kid. I later on moved towards the parking side और मैं उस बच्चे के छूटने का इंतजार करता हूँ. And when he comes to me, तो मैंने उससे पूछा, मैंने कहा तुम्हें क्या हुआ? He said, भाई वो सामने मस्जिद देख रहे हैं. मैंने कहा जी. कहता मैंने अपने भाई के लिए वहाँ से चप्पल चोरी की थी क्योंकि उसके पैरों में जूती नहीं थी, मेरे पैरों में भी नहीं है, मैं बर्दाश्त कर लेता हूँ, वो नहीं कर सकता, उसको ठंड लग रही है और बीमार हो रहा है. It shook me. मैंने कहा यार अगर ये इस तरह रह रहा है, मैंने आज तक इनके लेवल पे आपने नहीं सोचा कि जिंदगी कैसे गुजारते हैं. I'm blessed, I have a car, I come in a fancy car, I come here with fancy clothes on. So I thought, why not? I took the guy in my car, went to the market, bought him shoes, bought his brother shoes, came back and dropped him there. मैंने कहा ये डिपार्टमेंट है, यहाँ देख लो. If you ever need any help, come to this guy, you'll find me here. So eventually the depression and the hole where I was in became a releasing point of me, because truly darkness is a blessing. हम सब we cry on relationships, या उसने मेरे साथ शादी नहीं की, okay I'm gonna cut myself, I'm gonna hang. Why? I lost 17 friends. All of them were a hole that still won't fill. I know it. But what makes me move on, what makes me stand here, is the drive. All of you guys are my drive. I want to do anything. I want to do everything for you, because humanity is standing right here. Religious differences, कोई भी बंदा इंसान बने बगैर ना क्रिश्चियन हो सकता है, ना हिंदू हो सकता है, ना मुसलमान हो सकता है. Leaving that aside, we all are humans, one common species. So why not forget that one part where we are all religious? Why not establish a point where we are all humans and we belong to one species? This is the aim for me right now, and I want to take it up. And I'm going to wrap this up with one of the things that I wrote in my book, and I especially want to mention it here. I learned that you need not to follow the ghosts that haunt you in the middle of the night. You need not to fall prey to the demons from deep within. Don't give in. As long as we remember that from the womb of the night emerges sunshine. As long as we remember that it's just about turning a switch on. The sun surely does give you light, and it burns too. But that shouldn't stop us from enjoying a beautiful summer. So this is the story of me, my friends, and my drive. So standing right here in front of you, एक major lesson जो मैं अपनी life से लोगों को देता हूँ, that is, in whichever hole you are, try to see the positive. कि अगर मैं इससे बाहर निकलूँगा, मेरी life में क्या change आएगा? Because December 16th से पहले, I was an average teenager, just drifting with the winds, and now here I am with an aim. Humanity मैंने अपने कंधों पर उठा ली. So this is how these things change you, and I'm sure inshallah while I progress I'm going to do something more than this. But one key thing that I want to leave you guys with is, you see, friendships are something that you would cherish for the rest of your life while you will be on your deathbed. ये वो दोस्त होते हैं जो आपको मरते वक्त भी हंसा सकते हैं. So these are people that you should care about, because literally I know the feeling of losing 17 and 4 closest to me. So I know where I stand right now. It makes me shake even right now. But वो कहते हैं ना, आंसू बहाने का टाइम नहीं रहा, लोगों को हंसाने का टाइम आ गया है. Because we are suffering from depression from a good long while. So why not to stop the depression and make people happy? So this is my value, and this is how I embrace the change. And I hope that my talking is
आकिफ, आपने सबको हिला के रख दिया क्राउड को.